So welcome to Manic Monday with me, Luna Winters Tarot. I am a psychic medium, divine channeler, but I also do use oracle cards and tarot cards as tools of divination, but often they are just an image so that you, the collective, understand what I'm channeling, because generally I just channel straight out the sky. So the card I've got today for Manic Monday is this shaman energy. Now, this is all a continuation of the reading I channeled yesterday. So if you haven't listened to that one, please do go and take a listen, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I can also be found on Instagram at Luna Winters Tarot, blue tick verified account. So if you're not following, give me a follow there as well, because there's lots of daily readings that I post. Back to shaman, divine masculine energy. Now, I'd already started channeling this energy, and I was about 7 minutes in, and everything at the moment is around the number 7 because that's the karmic number. And as I got to a really poignant moment, which was about channeling Holy Father, higher power energy, 2 paddleboarders came past my boat very, very closely, and I energetically shut down. I just couldn't speak. And that was a real monitoring spirit energy. Now, you may think that sounds bizarre, but remember that I live on water. So energy on water is far more powerful and profound than it is on the earth, because everything flows through water. We are also water. So I have to protect my energy so much more living the way that I do. But those 2 paddleboarders, they came past at a very poignant moment, as I've just said. And it was like, And you know what? I stopped the video. I deleted it because that energy really bothered me, because I always say for everything a reason. And I was saying in yesterday's reading how there were still people around who want to stop this union coming back into alignment. And I'm just going to pick up the cards I'd already pulled for that first reading, because I'm still guided to bring you this energy, because the next card that came up was Druid. And this is the ancestor, the father figure in spirit I picked up on yesterday, who is grabbing this divine masculine by the scruff of the neck and saying, look, come on now, shake up, wake up, it's time to do the right thing. Because you then came out next to this Druid energy. Your divine masculine has got you so heavily on their mind, because this father energy is placing you there. But look, do you see? Your heart center is wide open. Your heart is like this beacon of light calling your masculine home. And he has gone and is continuing to go through a very profound spiritual awakening. And again, I don't know if yesterday you'll recall, I heard a ba-bum, ba-bum. The shaman's drum. It's like a sound wave that's being sent out to your divine masculine, a vibration, a ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. And it's the beat, the rhythm that is guiding him back home to you. And this beat, this rhythm is being beated out. Beated? Beat. That's sometimes I'm just like, really, Catherine? Really? You know your grammar better than that. But, you know, we all make mistakes. I just made a terrible one. The rhythm is being beat out by this stick. It's like this ancestor's banging the stick on the heavenly plane. Bang, bang, bang. It's like a thunderous sound, and it's resounding in your divine masculine's ears. Now, your divine masculine, this is the point I got to with the original reading where I stopped recording and deleted because of those monitoring spirits. Your divine masculine has come to the realization, the epiphany, the awakening, that soul awakening, truthful, heart-wrenching moment where they realize that there is a higher power. There is an energy on this earth that oversees us all, that is more powerful than their ego, than their pride, than their sense of self. And it's bringing them down a peg or two, because they're realizing they have no choice. Well, they do. They have free will, but they know in their soul that the only choice they have is to come back and make this right with you, because your heart beats for them and their drum beats for you. You are intrinsically linked, and it is written. It is written by the higher power in the Akashic records, and what the higher power writes, what they say goes. You can deviate off your path for a really short moment if you must, but if it's written, then you have to come back around. Now, the other card I pulled was this one. So do you see how this energy is all intrinsically linked? It's all about the higher power, the great teacher, the dove of peace. This signifies to me that a time of peace, union, resolution is coming in. But it's also a symbol of the hope in your heart, right there, that never ever died. Now, you have never given up hope. Do you see how the red hair is coming through again? That was yesterday as well, this red hair. Somebody has red hair. Your love has never died. You have remained true to your divine path. You're standing in like an abbey, a church here. You're surrounded by divinity, faith, hope. And your hope is what's kept this person alive. And I do actually feel that you're sending energetic signs and symbols to them. I feel your divine masculine has actually seen a barn owl recently. And that barn owl has made them instantly think of you. Because you together, I feel, had a thing about birds of prey. You would look at birds of prey together. You would sit and watch the skies and go, oh, what bird do you think that is? So you have sent your spirit animal, whether it's been in their dreams or actually physically in the physical pain. This is your spirit animal. And you see how it's sitting over his crown chakra, guiding him, speaking to him and showing him. Because this is the image that he is being shown. It's you sitting alone, peacefully in solitude, in a calm. And you're in a really good space, energetically. And this is what your divine counterpart is being shown. And they're being shown that you've never given up hope, but you have had to continue on because, as I said yesterday, you had no choice but to. So this image they're having of you is one of a very quiet power and presence. Your presence is everything. Your presence alone speaks volumes, and your divine counterpart now is looking back over at photographs of you. Photographs that for a while they've put away in a hidden folder in their phone or on their laptop, wherever it is, because they didn't want to delete them. And I'm covering my third eye as I'm saying this, because this is what your person did. They didn't want to see, because they knew in that moment that seeing would bring all the emotions and the truth to the surface. But now they feel ready to see. Now they are looking at those pictures of you, and they are seeing what they failed to see at the time, which is your truth, your light, and your absolute. You are so beautifully vulnerable. Your soul is so genuine. And they can't understand how they didn't see that at the time. But now they're seeing it. Do you see how my voice goes? Again, every time I start to talk about your divine counterpart's emotions, my throat chakra starts to close down, because it's like they're so ashamed. They are so ashamed of what they did. I'm going really hot. You know that heat of shame that people have? That's coming over me. And I'm coming out in a sweat. Your person currently is going through some kind of, either they've got a fever, they're not well, or it's like a detox energy. They're giving up really toxic habits. It could be drinking heavily. It could be smoking. You know, all those toxic things they've been indulging in while they haven't been with you. They've given up on them because they know that all those toxic things are just poisoning their soul. And to come back to you, their soul has to be clean. It has to be pure. It has to be, and this is what they're doing. Lord, look, they're taking charge. They're taking charge of themselves. They're taking charge of their environment. And they're taking charge of everything around them, because they want to reflect back to you their true self. I don't feel you ever got their true self. What you got was this abridged version of them, where it was just like the little bits that they wanted to show, they showed, but the rest they were saving for all those past people who shouldn't have been in the mix. But that was a safety net. That was how they made themselves feel safe in this connection in its first coming together. But all of that mucking about with their own mindset, it made you feel unsafe. And they now see that reflected back at them, because they're now in a soulfully and energetically vulnerable place, because they've cut off so many people and they are now all alone with their thoughts, and their thoughts about their behaviors, their mistakes, their unfinished everythings. And it makes them feel scared. I've actually got a lump in my throat and my stomach, my solar plexus is churning. They feel scared. They're feeling the emotion that you felt when they cut like that, cut you off. See ya, sayonara, all the best. And you were left in this moment going, what the hell am I meant to do? Because all the balls you'd both been juggling were just dropped, and they rolled to you, and your person just walked away scot-free. So they thought. And that fear, that anxiety, that pit in your stomach in that moment is now the pit in their stomach. They're just like, because in the same way that they cut you off and displaced you and dehumanized and detached from you, they've done this to themselves. But they've done it because they know in order to come back devoted and committed to you, they have to do this. They have to go within. They have to come out their true self. And I love this card. It's the Buddhist monk. It's that state of meditation. It's that return to self. And look here, look. All these cards coming out. I love this. I don't normally use this deck. This is a Kyle Gray deck. There have been times I've used this and I haven't felt I've really connected with it, but today I really am, and that's because the energy it's bringing is a very, very gentle, angelic energy, and that's why I've been guided to it. Oh, now, I know what I wanted to say. Let me just find this card. Here we are, me going off on a tangent. This energy here, this peaceful resolution energy, this is Archangel Metatron's cube in the background here. Now, Archangel Metatron is the Archangel of starseeds, of way showers, of the 144. And his energy now is very powerfully around you and around your counterpart, because you have to come back together, because it is written. And it's not just because it's written, but it's part of the universal plan. It's part of the divine plan. And until all these pieces are in place on this Metatron's cube, the plan cannot unfold as it's meant to. And that isn't just for you two people. This is as a universal whole. And this is why divine counterparts who have come together and been broken apart and put onto separate timelines in order that they can both ascend and evolve to come back together. The reason you're coming back together right now is because there's a massive global universal energetic switch that's happening. There's a major switch in the timelines. I've got to be careful what I say because my voice is closing down again. My angels are saying, shh, calm. There's only so much I can say. And I said this in yesterday's reading yesterday too. Do you see how they're making me repeat myself to take me off track so that I forget what I'm saying? So I'm going to move away from that. But yeah, Archangel Metatron, very, very powerful right now. So let's continue. See, look, my angels, my guides, they really piss about sometimes, and it does make me laugh. Just wait for that important information. It's like, yeah, right. I'm not allowed to tell you because they're saying you've got to wait. And what you've got to wait for is for this alignment of you two coming back together, because then that's when the pieces fall into place. And that's for the 144 as a whole. Now, whether members of the 144 are in union or not, there's still something within those unified connections where something needs to fall into place. And, you know, whether that's them paying off their karma or them ascending to a new level, you know, there's so much occurring out there at the moment. And this, the next full moon. Now, didn't I say yesterday 17 days? And I said to you, that's a really weird number. 17 breaks down to an 8. So I want you to all go and Google what the number 8 means in the grand scheme of life. But also it's going to be about 17 days time when this next full moon comes out. So this is when something very, very significant is going to occur. So watch this space. I'm just going to shuffle a few more. I'm very aware that I rambled on for, I think it was 48 minutes yesterday. Could have been 38. I think it was 48. But either way, it was a very long time. It probably did all of your heads in. So I'm going to be really careful today that I don't make that same mistake. But often when I'm channeling, I just go off into the ether. Because that's who I am. You know, this is what divine channeling does. You just go from one message to the next, and then before you know it, you've been talking for an eternity and you're like, oh my God, those poor people's ears. By the way, if you want to book a personal reading with me, Luna Winters Tarot, buy me a coffee, click on the shop link and you will find my listings there. I just want another card. Right, yeah. Knight, Stargazer. Now, this reunion is being watched over. It's being guarded. See how Archangel Michael's blue indigo energy is coming through incredibly powerfully here. Being 144, we are of the stars. Whoa, I'm going quite dizzy now. There's going to be a sudden, I said about it just, a sudden time shift. And a very expedited ascension. A download, an upgrading of you, your energetic force, your aura, your life force energy. There's going to be this sudden, exceptionally intense download that's just going to take you completely off balance. And it's going to affect the left side of your head because I'm rubbing my left temple. It's coming straight through your crown chakra. And into your third eye, and then it's going straight down to your throat. So those 3 chakras are where you are going to receive this major, major download and ascended energetic, I'm going to call it life force energy. And this is coming straight from the stars, and it's going to be happening at the next full moon. In about 17 days time, as I channeled yesterday. And that is what is going to bring this union back into alignment. It's this sudden, I think I said yesterday, I felt, or it's the day before, that you are both of the Egyptian era. Because I specifically saw you gilded in gold. And the Egyptians, they were very, very aligned. Bear with me. Yeah. They were very, very aligned with stars, moons. You know, that's what the pyramids were all about. And I was seeing a triangle right now. And I keep doing this with my hands at the moment. I keep making a triangle with my hands. And no, it's not the Illuminati. There's somebody somewhere who's going to be saying, oh, that's really dodgy. No, it's really not. Don't worry. It's just, I feel this that I keep doing is a symbol from whatever planet it is that you've come from. If you're aware of your starseed heritage, so to speak, you'll know which star you're from. And this is significant. But I'm going to move on from that because this is what fell on the floor. It's healing. It's Archangel Raphael. It's this energy of healing, realignment. And it's coming this summer. And we're already in summer. In my world, we are. Officially, we're still in spring because the sun's shining and the bees are buzzing. To me, we're in summer. But this is going to be June, July, August. This is the getting to know each other once more phase. This is the learning to dance together again. This is the 1 foot forward, 2 backwards, 2 forwards, 3 backwards. There's going to be this learning to move with each other again. You know, and there are going to be moments when you're going to be circling each other like caged tigers. Because like I said, it's going to be about what they do, not what they say. And they know that they're under your intuitive gaze. So they don't want to put a foot wrong when they come back. So June, July, August, potentially into September, this is going to be a very slow dance between you both. Because there's a lot to rebuild here. There's a lot of trust to rebuild. You're both completely different people to the people you were back then. So there's this getting to know each other again. But there's also going to be those little pitfalls where the past comes up, it rears its ugly head. It's got to be dealt with. So there are going to be those moments where there are stings in the tail and you are going to lash out at each other occasionally. But know that these will be resolved very quickly and very maturely, actually, because I feel in the past your person's been really immature and they've run away from confrontation. But now they've learnt that you have to face confrontation head on, eye to eye, and admit when you're wrong and say you're sorry and be resolute about not doing that again. As you move into the autumn, this is when things really begin to come into true alignment. And there's going to be a lot of protective energy around you, because I feel around October time, there's going to be someone. Now, this is an air sign, but it's reverse. So this is an angry air sign, and I'm feeling very much Aquarius here. So if there's an Aquarius involved in this energy, know that in about October, November time, they're going to come in again, just like they did the first time round. And they're going to start their dickhousery and fuckery and try to bring this union apart again. And that's when your person comes in with this drum. But this time, the drum isn't the sound of their heartbeat calling to you. It's not the vibration between you both. This is the drum of a Viking warrior beating the sound as they head into battle, because they are going to fight for you. They are going to protect you so fiercely, like they should have protected you the first time around against this Aquarius. And they are definitely an Aquarius, because I just see them. They're so cocky. They're just real know-it-alls. Well, I say goes. Well, actually, no. No, Susan. I don't know why I'm calling her Susan. It just seems to suit her. Susie. Yeah. That name's relevant somewhere in this connection. This may not be Susan. It may be a Susan who tells this Aquarius to shut the fuck up as well. Haven't you done enough damage? Didn't you hurt people enough the first time round? Isn't it time that you learn to not interfere and meddle in other people's lives just because your own life is miserable and unhappy? You expect everybody else to be unhappy whilst serving you platitudes on a silver plate? Fuck off. Yeah, see, that's what I'm hearing. Sorry, that's what's happening. And as your person beats their battle drum, other people are coming in to defend this union. Unexpected people, people who on the surface look quite meek, mild. You could call them weak, but they're anything but. So October, November time, there may be a battle of wills. Well, there will be a battle of wills. I can't say may. There will be. Your person is a water sign, and they're going to protect you. See how they're putting their wings around protectively. And look, here they are at the bottom of the deck. They are going to protect you with their all. They are coming in as your Viking warrior, and they're going to stand before you like this. They're going to say, get back. I've got this. And in the moment, you're going to want to try and step forwards because you're going to be like ready to run, because the first time they should have protected you, they ran away. But this time they're coming in to do this. They're saying to you, no, I've got you. I have got you 100%. This is not coming between us. And that's why it's in reverse. I love that. I really, really love that. It's just, see how your person's learnt their lesson? Do you see how they've learnt from the mistakes they've made? They've listened to the higher power. Look, this card's coming out again. They want peace. They want resolution. They want this union 100%. And they are listening to this higher power. They are following it. They're following that guidance. Because they know they followed this originally, which was devil energy. This person was sent in to break you apart. And they managed it. And it made them even more egotistical and more cocky, because they were just like, they got your person by the balls and they've just been dragging them around for however long it's been. But your person's grabbed their balls back. They've been growing a spine. And now they're standing up straight and they're saying, no, that's where I'm going. I'm going back there. You don't like it? Fuck off. Quite literally. Back the fuck away from me. This is my life. I'm sick of doing your bidding. Whoever you are, you could be family, you could be friends, you could be an ex. Whatever this person is, they are no more. And it really hurts their ego, because what they say goes. They are the loudest voice in the room, but they're also the voice that lacks the most knowledge, awareness, and they're actually really uncouth. This is the sort of person who chews with their mouth open. Sorry to say that, but that's what I'm saying. This is potentially a feminine who comes across quite masculine. She likes masculine pursuits. And I'm going to say it. She's probably a feminine who would prefer the company of women in the bedroom, but she's in a marriage, she's got children, and she's going through the motions. And the reason she's frustrated with life and the reason she's unhappy with life is because actually this isn't the life she chose for herself. She ended up trapped in that life and towing the family line, and now, because of her own bitterness that her life isn't the way she wants it to be, and because she can't express her true self, which she could if she had the courage to, she chooses to be a bully instead. She chooses to bully people, belittle people, minimize people. And she chooses to make sure that everybody around her is as desperately unhappy as she is. But this is being called time. The higher power. He who sits on the right shoulder of the higher power. They're saying no. No more. I'm just going to shuffle a couple more because, oh my God, we're on 27 minutes. Goodness me. Yeah, see, look. There you go. See how this union coming back together is protected. I see a line of angels, swords in the ground. They're like Viking warriors. They're stood. Actually, it's more like, you know, Lord of the Rings. Was it the Battle of Helm's Deep? When the elves arrived and they just stood ready. They all knew that most of them were going to die. There are ancestors, angels, spirit guides right now who are lined up just like those elves at Helm's Deep. They formed the battle line. And they're actually daring anyone to come and step across it and try and meddle with this union. In fact, they're almost welcoming it. I'm hearing fight, fight, fight. Because ain't nothing going to break in my stride. Ain't nothing going to hold me down. Whoa, got to keep on moving. Sorry, I can't believe I just sang. I'm really sorry about that. But that's what came through. So yeah, nothing's going to break their stride. They're going to steadfastly protect this union. Now, 17 days, as I said yesterday, I'm repeating that again today, the next full moon, moving into the summer, those are all really relevant and crucial parts of this union and this story as it moves forwards. I think you can expect to hear a tentative toe in the water message from your divine counterpart in June. I'm going to say the beginning of June, the early weeks of June. Trust your intuition on this. You know it's coming. You're having the dreams, you're seeing the symbols, the signs that it's coming in your dreams. And yeah, trust your intuition. I can hear it coming in the air tonight. Oh. Just as I said that about your dreams. You're both dreaming. You're both receiving symbols. You both know that this can't be run away from anymore. Time's up. You've got to come back together. This, as I've just said, is in the arms of the angels. Battle lines are drawn between the Aquarius Karen back there and any other karmic prat who wants to come back and try and fuck things up. Battle lines are drawn. You want to be that fool who treads where angels stand? Yeah, go ahead, fill your boots. Because trust me, you're not coming out of it looking good. I'm going to take one more card because I'm rambling on and on and on and on and on. Why? Why though? Why is this happening? Because like I said halfway through the reading, it's happening because it's as it is written. What is written in the Akashic records is 100% set in stone and it cannot be deviated from. You can bury your head in the sand for as long as you like, but when you've made a contract before you've ascended, descended, incarnated, however you want to call it, my words are going all over the place, that contract you agreed to, it's like every contract. It's non-negotiable. So why? Because it's what you agreed to do. And what you've agreed to do forms a part of such a bigger plan than just you and they. We are in a really crucial energetic time on this earth. And there's a huge burden of responsibility upon the 144 to do what is right, to project what is right and just and fair out there. And if we can't live by the standards that we set for ourselves, what hope is there? So ask yourself why. And the reason is because it's what you agreed. And there you go. The Most High, straight from the mouth. My way or no way. And that is just it. And on that card, I'm going to end because the messages are said. And we're on 32 minutes, 41 seconds. My goodness, that's a long one again. I'm really sorry to you all because I just talk and talk and talk. As my late Dado used to say to me, there's a song by Chaz and Dave called Rabbit. And as soon as I started talking, my dad would just sit there and he'd just be like, rabbit, 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 chatter, 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 chatter. And it really makes me laugh still, that song, because every time I hear it, I think of my Dado, and he'd do this with his mouth, his hand. Chatter, 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 chatter. He used to say to me, I took a breath when I woke up, and I didn't stop talking until that breath ran out at the end of the day when I went to sleep. And my Dado was right. He was right about that. Sorry, I don't know why I'm holding these cards. Let me just see. Yeah, see, your divine counterpart, this is them scratching their head, sitting awake at night going, how do I make this right? And the Most High is saying, my way or no way. Oh my God. And look, you know how I've been talking about sevens? Look, what is the next card there? 777. So there's your angel number, 777. Everything to the power of 7 right now. Sevens are very significant. Sevens are good numbers. Sevens can be bad numbers. We break a mirror, 7 years bad luck. We drop a glass, 7 years good luck. I'm sure I heard that somewhere. I could be talking nonsense at this point, but sevens are considered very lucky, and that's because sevens are lucky, but sevens can also be that karmic cycle that we enter into for 7 years, but that's what's ending. That's 777. And I am really going to stop talking now. I'll just say it again. If you want to buy a personal reading with me, head to Buy Me a Coffee, Luna Winters Tarot, and you can purchase a reading there. Have a really blessed Monday all. I'm sorry for wittering on for so long. Take good care.